Welcome to the Artistic Box. I am so excited that you are here with me today. We are working on a really awesome project. Okay, we're going to be doing abstract art. And if you've never done abstract art before, get ready. It is so much fun, and no matter what you do, you can't mess it up. Because if you mess it up, you just say it's abstract. Who knows what it was supposed to be? It's abstract. So there's no stress, no worry. We are going to have a blast today and just be relaxed and have fun. Okay, are you ready? All right, so what I've gone ahead and done is gotten out my canvas, okay? You will need a paper towel or something to wipe your palette knife on. So you can use a paper towel or a rag or your shirt if you have nothing else. And then you'll need your palette knife, okay? Mine is really covered with paint because I use this a lot. So maybe yours will be looking like mine soon. And then you'll need your plate that was in your box. And what I've done is I've just taken some paint from each of the colors and put them all over my plate, okay? That way I've separated them so I have space for whenever I need to mix them, okay? Okay, we are gonna be creating this today, okay? It's a very exciting abstract picture. And what's so cool about abstract, watch this. You can turn it any direction you want, okay? So when you finish with this picture today, you might end up hanging it something way different than how I hang it. I mean, I plan on putting this framed in my bathroom, but you might put it somewhere else, okay? So we're gonna get started. And the thing about palette knife painting, when you are like putting paint on the back of your palette knife, you'll wanna take it and you'll wanna go backwards. So every time I say grab some paint, you're gonna take your palette knife and on the bottom of the palette knife, you're gonna scrape backwards, okay? So, I mean, it's okay if you get it on the top, but it will work a lot better if you get it on the bottom. All right, so the first thing we're gonna work on is kind of building our background, okay? And our background in this picture is gonna be like corals and peaches and real soft colors. So we're gonna make that color right now. And how you make that is you use some yellow. So I'm gonna scrape backwards and put it on my palette knife. Some red, and get quite a bit because you want to make a lot of this color. This is going to need a lot of this color because we're going to cover pretty much our whole canvas with it. Okay, so you're going to start mixing together yellow and red. All right, and if you have noticed, the red kind of overpowers the yellow because red is such a strong color. So if at any time you're like, oh no, just grab some more paint. Okay, so once you have the red and yellow kind of mixed together like this, then you're gonna scrape backwards some white, okay? So you wanna add some white. And all of a sudden you'll start to see this beautiful, like peach, beige kind of color mixed together, okay? You might wanna call that blush. Okay. So once you have a color that looks similar to that, okay? You can make it lighter, you can grab some more white, make it lighter. If you want some more yellow in there, get some more yellow. And if at any time if you're like, oh, I do not want those colors in my picture, that is okay. This is your painting. You can do whatever you want. So if you're wanting purple or violet, take some red and that blue and do that color combination together. Or if you're wanting more of like a green color, like, I don't know, dark green, then you can get some blue and yellow and then mix those colors together, okay? So you do not have to do the colors I'm choosing. No way. You can do whatever you want. This is your picture. All right, so once you have the color that you like, then we're gonna start painting, okay? And I'm gonna hold my canvas vertical, and I'm just gonna start going up and down. Oh, look at that beautiful color. I love it, okay? But we're just kind of covering some of this background. Now, if you notice, I'm not really bearing down super hard. Okay, I'm kind of just like layering. I'm just gonna scoop up a lot of this paint. I'm just layering. And you want some different shades. So I'm going up and down right here. And then I'm gonna go side to side over here, okay? I'm kind of like going sporadic. But the thing with palette knife painting is when you're painting with a palette knife, you don't want everything to mix in. It looks better with all those different layers and colors in there. Okay, so I'm just adding all my peach color and I'm getting some more white on there. And I'm kind of going up and down and side to side in certain areas. okay? I'm just adding paint everywhere. And I'm just gonna keep on adding that color all over, okay? And I'm gonna kind of come over here on the side and get some more and just kind of come and dab over here, okay? It looks a little sloppy at first, but it'll start to turn into like a really cool looking abstract painting, okay? All right. So if you can see, I'm just kind of going everywhere. I'm just adding that color everywhere. All right, I'm gonna leave some space for some white streaks. So I don't have to cover up everything completely, but I'm covering up most of it. Right, so let's see, does that look like it looks covered enough? Yep, and I'm turning my palette knife sideways, so some I'm just tapping sideways, and then others I'm painting vertical, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and wipe off our palette knife, okay? Because we're gonna add another color. So you're gonna wipe it off on your paper towel really good. We're gonna add white next, and we want it to be just pure white. So make sure when you're wiping it off, you wipe it off really, really good. I don't tend to use water when I paint with palette knives, but you always can. You can always get a cup of water and place it in your cup of water and rinse it off. I just usually wipe them off. Okay, so now we're gonna scrape backwards. So I want you to get some white on your palette knife and scrape backwards. Okay, so on the back of your palette knife, you're gonna take it and you're gonna scrape it just like that. And then we're gonna find a few places where we want just white. So let's do white up at the top, okay? So kind of turn your palette knife sideways, and we're just gonna pat, okay? Palette knife painting is kind of like you're just patting. You're just adding those layers. So I'm gonna get some more stripes more, and I'm gonna go this way this time. Okay, I'm gonna do a horizontal white area. All right, let's make that a little bigger. We'll add a little bit more of our white horizontal area. Okay, just like that. And then we're gonna do some white down here. Okay, and I'll do that vertical. All right. As long as all your palette knife streaks are not like matching up, that's what makes them look so good. And if you kind of like graze over really gently, then you will create space in between some of your lines. And so that creates another layer of texture. Okay, let's do another area right here on the bottom. Okay. All right, we'll add some white. I just like adding white everywhere, a few little spaces of white, so it makes the other colors pop. Okay. That way it has some difference in them. Okay, now let's do another area over here. We can turn it vertical. All right, and we're just gonna go vertically across a few areas right here. And then you can do some vertical or horizontal, okay? I kind of take my palette knife and I just go all over my canvas with it, all different directions, okay? All right, so now we've almost covered our canvas, okay? And it's looking really cool. I'm really liking it. Okay. And sometimes if your palette knife gets an extra color on, it'll kind of mix it in there. And you know what? I kind of like it because you don't want everything to look exactly perfect. It kind of looks better with colors mixed in, all kind of melded together. Okay? All right, so now we have our peach coral color in the background are white, kind of taken over a little bit on some areas. And now we're gonna add our color contrast. Okay, so we're gonna wipe off our palette knife really good because we are about to make navy blue. Unless you wanna make your own color, and that's okay. You can make whatever color you want. But if you're with me and you wanna do the same picture as I'm doing, then we're gonna mix together some blue right here, okay, some blue and some black. So you kind of do the same thing, you'll just mix them over here on an area on your plate, okay, and you wanna kind of mix them together until you have like a dark blue shade, okay? I love navy blue. And what's so neat is that navy blue and coral go really well together because blue and coral or orange are color complements. So they actually complement each other, which is why they look so good together, if you've ever wondered that. Okay, so get some navy blue on there, okay, on your palette knife, on the back. Let me make sure I have enough all mixed together. Make sure you have plenty mixed together, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add like some accents. So some dark accents to make our other colors stand out, okay? I think I had it upside down. Okay, so I'm gonna come up here on the top and I'm just gonna add some spattering of dark, okay? And again, I don't really have a set way I'm doing this. I'm just kind of gently placing paint up high, okay, on the top part of the picture. All right, the more random it looks, the more abstract it is, and the better, I think. All right, so I'm gonna do a few dark streaks right here, okay? And then I'm gonna come over here and do a few dark streaks. And as you notice, since your paint is not dry completely, it kind of will turn like this dark blue gray color. Ooh, I love it. I really love that shade. So you're just kind of adding a few spatterings, okay? Just a few things of dark blue. I'm gonna turn my palette knife sideways so we can get some cool different texture, sideways, vertical, okay, whichever one you prefer. Remember, this is your painting, okay? I'm gonna do a few down here just to kind of tie in that color, okay? A few right here, not too much. And then a few in the middle, okay? And then maybe a little section right here, okay? We kind of want all that to tie in together, all right? And then this is really neat. I'm gonna take that black on my palette knife and I'm gonna actually make a straight line and like cut my painting, okay? Not actually cut the canvas. I just mean like press sideways. So you'll take your palette knife straight up and down and you'll press sideways and you'll just create kind of a line, okay? I just kind of like doing sometimes some new looking lines. Sometimes to stand out, okay? And I'll do a few lines in your picture. All right, not too many. We don't want to turn this into like a rainwater picture. All right. And then I'm going to take my palette knife and I'm going to dip it in some more black and I'm going to sign my initials down here at the very bottom right corner so that way everyone knows that I did it, okay? So you need to sign your initials. All right, let's see. Okay, and now we have created our very own abstract picture. Love it, love it. So if you love this today and you are not a monthly subscriber and you'd like to be, go to our website, theartisticbox.com, and you can monthly subscribe. We have all new projects every month, different mediums. It's a blast. So I hope you had so much fun and I hope you keep painting and keep using your palette knife and make another piece of abstract art. Thank you so much for joining me today.